On our big broadcast, we are coast to coast. We are border to border on iHeartRadio today. Also, 990 WBOB out there in Rhode Island. And joining us this week here on Music Cap, we have a tremendous guest. I am filling in. I am, of course, KJAG, filling in here for Nia Lilly. Nia is under the weather today, so I am stepping in to take on the role today of interviewer, and we have got a great guest joining us today here on our big broadcast. First of all, go to the website kjagradio.com or go to the mic.fun, and you will be able to see a Skype video of our guest, and she is pretty goddamn impressive. My Lord. I first of all, I don't know if I need to be interviewing you or taking a hike for the hills. Yeah, you are very impressive, my friend. First of all, give us a little bit on your background and how we get in touch with you online and all that.
I am a techno-human. I don't call myself a cyborg. I call myself a techno-human because I evolve as humanity evolves. And the message is love and consciousness. And I know a lot of people are like, what? What do you mean technology and love and consciousness? I represent what technology should be doing for humanity. But as you know, there's always a battle between the two. And so it's really here to enhance what we do, not control us. So that's kind of what I represent on stage, in my music, and in my art form.
Awesome. So you have got an incredible web presence. Tell us a little bit about how we get in touch with you on social media and the websites and everything else.
Yes, so my website is www.celiane, C-E-L-I-A-N-E, thevoice.com. And you can find me on Instagram. I'm one of those that don't do a lot of platforms. So you can find me on Instagram and YouTube and type in Celiane The Voice. For Instagram, it would be Celiane Voice.
Fantastic. So for the people that are watching us on social media and for the people that are paying attention to us today here on 990 WBOB, just explain this entire outfit, my friend. You are great. You are fantastic.
Thank you. So this is how I perform on stage. And depending on how many concerts you come into or how many performances, you will see me evolve or de-evolve depending on what's going on with humanity. So you may see me add a piece to my leg. You may see me add a piece to my arm. You may see me become more human than techno-human. It really depends. The whole character is a whole comic book character that I came up with and I created, and a whole storyline and everything. It kind of blossomed. And then in the age of superheroes and everything, I said, well, you know what? We need a superhero for love. So that'll be me.
Awesome. So what is the reaction that people give you at your concerts and on stage and everything? Because I'll tell you, just seeing this entire presentation and then reading your press material and talking to your people is just amazing. But seeing it here on screen is another piece of business. Tell us about the reaction that you get to people or from people.
The reaction actually has been mixed. So when I perform and I come out, what I mainly see is kind of drop mouths until I start performing, and then you get the whole art piece experience, and then it's an experience. I have had though someone, I was at Chabot Space Center in Oakland for Afro Comic Con, and someone actually told me that I was disturbing, and I asked them why, and I was glad because I wanted to have this conversation. And when I asked them why, and they said, well, it's disturbing to see what humanity is moving toward, with the importance that they're putting on something else that's not human. And I said, I'm glad you had that conversation with me. These are the conversations I want us to have. And I say, yes, it's true. We are moving in that direction, but we decide what technology does for us. We decide how it helps us. from what I'm seeing, and I guess you can say my representation, we haven't been deciding that as a humans as a whole.
Yes.
And you can see and you can feel that in everything that we're doing. So I'm the visual representation of that. I want people to be aware. And to see, sometimes, people don't get it unless you see it. And so when they see me, it puts the thought on their mind. But then when they hear the message of love and consciousness, they're like, oh, yeah, that is a tool. That's not something that's supposed to be leading us. We're supposed to be leading it. I'm like, exactly. So it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty. Other people be like, you're awesome. I'm like, thank you. So I love it. I love it. I love it all.
Celiane The Voice joins us today here on our big broadcast, and she is tremendous. She is, as a good friend of mine would say, she is the original gerbil in the batting cage. She is fantastic. And Celiane The Voice with us today. Check out the website, CelianeTheVoice.com. Go over and check that out today. So, just looking through your website, looking through some of your photos and your videos, what exactly do you, when you go to put this look together or do a performance or do a photo shoot, what are some of the things that you're looking at that you put together in your look and everything?
So I'm looking at eyepieces. The eyepiece is signature. I've fought many people on my eyepiece because they're like, why do you need to have that? I'm like, because it represents the discerning eye.
Oh, you need the eyepiece, girl. You need the eyepiece.
Yep.
I'll tell you. You are, if you didn't have the eyepiece, you'd be just some hot black chick. You need the eyepiece. You need the eyepiece, man, because it makes the whole look work, baby. It's fantastic.
Thank you. So I usually have a mechanical arm of some way, shape,
That's
or form.
awesome.
And then I have, since I'm heavier, I wear corsets. I like those better. And then it's always, form fitting. It's always like, how can I say it? I'm supposed to be a soldier. I represent female soldiers. Yes. And I'm a female Marine.
Yep.
Because I honor our soldiers. And I honor the freedom they allow us to have. So I wanted to do that.
That's awesome.
To incorporate that in my persona. And she is true blue tough. I mean, Celiane is not the type of person that carries on small talk really and smiles a lot because she's been through a lot. She has PTSD. She has disabilities. She has things that set her back, but she keeps trudging forward. Yeah, the technology helps her do that, but it's a lot of inner work that goes on. So that shows on the costume. So sometimes the costume will be white instead of black because those are her brighter times. When she's wearing black, there's some things that she has to do that she doesn't want to do, but she has to help protect humanity. So, those are those tough choices that we make as people that sometimes you have to make the tough choices, good or bad. It doesn't matter. So what she does and what she wears, she carries it forward. She represents humanity. And it's in a strange way. I will admit that. It's in a strange way, but the music goes along with it. And the music genre we created goes along with that. So when you get the grungy music along with the look, along with the storyline on stage, because we don't just perform on stage. We don't just sing. No, it's a story. So that's what I meant by it's a whole experience. You are taken into a world as if you're in a comic book. And so, but you go the journey with her. And those show. So we have our gauntlets, we have our fight gloves, we have our, we're constantly in a battle, but it's for humanity. I won't say it's necessarily against technology, but it can be if it's not serving the way it's supposed to. So she's the one who carries that love forward, but she doesn't fight out of hatred. She fights out of love for the people that she's protecting and the love for the planet and for everyone. So it's like I said, it's a pretty deep, complicated thing.
Well, I'll tell you, you've sold me. This is, after just talking to you here for like the 8 minutes that we've been talking to you, One, I got to have you back because you're phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
Second, you start talking about the corsets and all this other stuff. Um, I have a really good friend who is she's a writer. She kind of dabbles in the porn industry by the name of Cassie Carter. We've got to get you and Cassie on at some point because I think you two would get along like nobody's business. Your look and then her look, it's like just amazing stuff. So, do you go to any of the? You mentioned that you went to a Comic Con at one point. Do you go to the Comic Cons? Because I think you would be perfect. Because these comic book
Oh,
marks would see you coming and be like, whatever you're selling, I'm buying. I'm all
I
in.
am. I have. What I'm actually trying to do is perform for them. See, they usually don't let singers sing for them. They'll let bands play, but they don't let singers sing. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to be one of those singers that actually sing and perform for it. So I have to show them what I got, so they'll let me go ahead and do that. So I'm working on that.
that's awesome. Well, and I'll tell
But
you,
I do go to.
something else I think would be great, and I think you would go over like gangbusters, is at the porn conventions. Holy shit. I have been, Exotica or the ABNs in Vegas. I'll tell you, if you were to walk in this getup, as my grandmother used to say, and you have your CDs and you're doing your music and everything. Oh, you're gonna be getting nailed for autographs. People are gonna be wanting to taking pictures with you. And it wouldn't have, I wouldn't think anything about this. It's the fact that you've got the confidence, you've got the gimmick here, and you've got a good message, and your music kicks ass. So you've got the whole thing, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I would love that.
So
Actually.
so where do you see yourself in like 2 or 3 years with this look and everything you're doing musically?
Well, I see myself going as far as I can go. I mean, I know it's a different concept. I look different. I am very different as a person. So I see it going pretty far. I see it going as far as it can. Since it's an art form, as I said, I am a performer, but I like that I'm getting the term added to me, artistic art or audible art. So I'm actually really loving that. I'm loving that. So I see it kind of morphing into like a sci-fi rock opera type thing,
Yep.
just a full-fledged storyline on stage and seeing it go as far as it can go.
So you've done some opera in the past. Tell me about some of your opera training and some of the different things that you've done.
So yeah, I started out totally different. I've trained in opera since I was 17 years old. That was something my mom wanted me to do. And at that age, I was like, no one listens to that. I don't want to do that. I want to sing the pop stuff. And my voice is actually more operatic Broadway. It's a legit voice. And so over the years, when you're trying to sing pop and you have operatic voice, it doesn't really work. And so, well, it depends. And they were like, you'll never sing that. Can you change your voice to this? I'm like, no, my voice is the way that it is. And so I, you know, and so then I learned jazz to give me a little bit more soul. So now actually when I sing classical music, it has a soulful flair, which is so cool. I'm happy about that. But then I was like, you know what, forget this. I'm gonna create my own stuff. So I created my own genre, electronica hip hop. And I created this genre, one, so I wouldn't have anyone else asking me, oh, can you change your voice to this? That's one thing. The other reason is because I love dubstep. Love dubstep. I love electronica music. I love EDM music. But I love hip hop beat. I love those big bass undertones, and I love grungy sounds. So I said, okay, what can I do to put them all together? And what I love to do. And I had to find a producer that would put all the elements I needed that knew them all in the song. That's Bill Williams. That's my guy. So took it to him. He said, I know exactly what you want. Let's figure this out. then we started making music. And so the first songs that I've released, the first two I released, I created and took it to him to do the master work, and then clean it up and everything. And then the third one has been my ode to Ghost in the Shell. I had to remake Inner Universe. I had to. When I first heard it 15 years ago, I so fell in love with that song. Oh my goodness. And the fact that it was in different languages, I said, I'm gonna do it. So I remade it the way that it is, and it's 3 different languages that Origa did, and just fell in love with it. And that's my third release right now. So, you know, everything I do with Celiane has a purpose. We have a motive in what we do, and how we move, and how we think. And so I just wanted people to appreciate the art and the art that it's becoming. And I wanted to give them something that they could say, this is different. This is not like everyone else out there. This is what we need. This is what we need to see. What is she going to do next? What is she going to do next? Because honestly, to be honest with you, I've pieced it to where if you want to know about me, you got to see the intro on YouTube. And you'll see that in the concert, but you'll see the story. After that, you won't see the beginning of the story anymore. You got to get the comic book. Or you got to go back to YouTube to see it. You know what I mean? Awesome. So it's like you got to catch the story when you get the story. Otherwise, you're going to kind of miss part of the story. So it's a whole, like I said, it's a whole thing. And I can't wait for it to get out there so everyone can see the story. I'm super excited about it. I want everyone to see the story.
It is pretty damn amazing. And you are quite amazing yourself, my friend. So I guess before we let you go, how do people get in touch with you on social media and the websites, and get involved with your music and everything that you're doing?
Just if you go to www.celianethevoice.com, you'll see all my current things and what's going on. You know, it's slow right now because of COVID, but we're going to be picking up. We're going to be putting our concert, like digital concert, out there. You can find me again on Instagram at Celiane Voice. You can find me on SoundCloud. You can find me on Amazon Music, iTunes, iHeartRadio. I have about 2 stations there, which is kind of cool because the music was so unique. They gave me stations.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I find that so funny. You can find Inner Universe on Pandora Radio. So you can find me. If you Google me, you will find me. Definitely.
Amazing stuff. Well, I will be in touch, my friend, because I definitely want to do this again. Because you need to have your stuff out there everywhere. You need to be, as my good friend Frank Catolo says, the web needs to be lousy with Celiane The Voice. So, so Celiane, thanks for doing this, my friend, and I will talk to you soon. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Appreciate it. There she goes. That's Celiane The Voice. Good God, what an amazing presentation. And we are going to take a quick time out here. And when we come back, we have got more coming up